It's your buddy Joel Jones over at the Bergen Gun Range. Over here at the gun room. Yeah, that's it. Say, listen, I was just sitting here watching YouTube on my tablet, and I come around to the Brownells channel with Smithbusters, and they were talking about uh, the expert. What does it mean if you're a firearms expert? Uh, what would qualify a person as a firearms expert? There's no certificate out there that you can get that says this guy's a firearms expert. Uh, Many people in the local community have referred to me and back home as well as a firearms expert. Well, I'm going to tell you something. The technology of firearms design, firearms manufacture, marketing, and so forth changes so fast that nobody with a brain in their head could sit down and say, I am a firearms expert, because tomorrow some little something is going to change. Guarantee you. You know, I mean, and they don't see it coming. You know, uh, and sometimes it don't work out. Daisy Model VL. Sometimes it don't work out. The technology changed, even though it didn't work out. Uh, Eckler and Koch G11. Yeah. So no one. You'd have to have a big Brett Chamberlain brain, to be able to absorb everything. I've been fooling with firearms since I was 10 or 11, 12 years old. Uh, I worked firearms retail when I was a kid. I started sweeping up the local gun shop, and wiping off the guns and dusting the showcases when I was 12 years old, you know, and reading every gun book I could get my hands on, from, shooting times to NRA publications to everything the local library had, everything the school library had, everything the ROTC library had, you know, and just, you know, I mean, I've been an NRA firearms instructor for God don't know how long. I'm distinguished expert, 2 or 3 times, different guns and so forth. Uh, Worked firearms retail on and off all of my adult life. Worked firearms repair pretty regularly for about 20 years and still do it a little bit. I've got a YouTube channel, for Pete's sakes. You know, um, I got several armorer schools under my belt. Uh, I build ARs for Apache Armaments, you know, and do police armorer stuff, and still reading every publication I can get my hands on. Still perusing the internet looking for that new gem of information that might help me out somewhere down the road. I've been in it for 50 years. For all I have learned and all I know is a small drop in a dry bucket compared to what a person would need to know to qualify themselves as a firearms expert. You know, so, but you'll have people who are bona fide experts in specific things. Expert in the reloading, expert on the Glock, expert on the M16, uh, expert on the MP5 sub, expert on the Uzi. I think I'm getting pretty close on that note. Um, but no one can know everything that they need to know to qualify as an expert. So I'm saying there's just no such thing as a expert. Okay? Uh, he may be an expert in a subgenre. Okay? But to be an overall firearms expert, he just doesn't exist. That's all there is to it. I qualify myself as a highly knowledgeable person. I used to work for Bragg Guns back when they were open. I worked for them for about 5 years, and just was every day. You know, I get done with my county job, and I would go in there and close, and 6 days a week for 5 years, and I saw a lot of stuff. I learned a lot of stuff. Um, and we used to have one of the partners in the business I'd be back at my little bench doing something, trying to line a scope up or trying to get an accessory on an AR or something, and I would hear his voice. Well, we have a resident expert. And I'm like, no, he's not. Because I didn't want to be in that position, So, if you go over to Brownell's channel, to the Smithbusters, and that just recently posted, and hear what they have to say, they kind of agree with what I have to say on the issue, except they're a little bit more professional and tactful about it. Okay, I guess on the end of a regular video as a bonus content, and like, take, share, buy, commentate, and subscribe. Leave me an old dollar in the Patreon bucket if you want to, and if you don't, I'll keep right on making these silly videos for you. All right then. God bless everyone, and we'll see you soon.